Video guide, PPM budget, costs, and balance. This video will demonstrate how you can view the budget on your award, the costs that have hit that award, and the balance that remains on that award. Once we go through that, I will also show you how to view your costs in more detail. So the budget, the cost, the balance, this can all be viewed in the award space of Oracle PPM. I'm going to open up the award space now. Once you're in the award space, you will go to the right and click the task panel and manage awards. This will take you to a list of awards. Now you can search for the specific award you're looking for, either with the award name, the award number, or even the project number. In this case, I know the award name, so I'm going to look it up that way. I am looking at a training grant, so it was named that way. Okay, so now I pulled up the award I was looking for. And then underneath there, you can also see the projects that are associated with that award. So I can see there's one project on here. This is the project number. I'm going to click on the actual award name to open it up. Once I'm in here, this is the award summary page. There's a lot of information here that's super helpful. Starting with up here, I can view my award from period to date or inception to date. In this case, I want to see it from the beginning to current state. And then I can specify if I just wanted inception to date for year 1 or all the way through year 2. In this case, again, I want the whole award, so I'm going to click year 2. This line right here is the funding amount. So this is how much the sponsor has funded. And then this box right here is the award projects box. This is sort of my overview of everything. Right here, I can see how much has been budgeted to the full award, how much has been committed. This is like your liens. Actual amount, this would be your costs on the award or on the project. Available amount, and this is the balance that remains. Now again, if I had changed that to period to date, and I was only looking at year 2, you can see those numbers adjust. This would just be my period, year 2 information. I want to look at inception to date though, so I can see everything. Now there's even more detail down here in the financial details section. This will break down your budget, your costs, and your balance by the tasks. So you have the overview line that matches what's up here, and then you have different tasks. So in this case, this is one task. This is the overview for the task, and these are the different resources on the task. I can see what's been budgeted, etc. In this case, I have a training stipends task. I have a tuition and fees task, and I have a training related expense task. All the same information broken down into a little bit more detail. So that's the overview of your budget, your costs, and your balance. But let's say you wanted to view more detail related to your costs. You can do this from this same space. If you go back to the award projects box here and click this drop down, you can click manage project costs. Now you can view costs either through here or manage cost distributions. They give you a little bit of different filtering options. In this case, I'm going to start with project costs, and then I'll show you the difference with distributions. So I'm going to click manage project costs. This will open up my costs in way more detail. Now there's a lot of columns here. These columns you can choose depending on what you're looking for by clicking view, columns. I've already selected the columns that I think will be useful for what I'm doing right now. You can change them, you can pick different things, you can take them off, you can only have 2 columns if you really want it. And then I'm going to walk you through some of the specific columns and how they may be useful to what you need to do. So here you can see My costs are over here. You can see the raw costs and the burdened costs. The raw cost, this is like your direct expenses. So these are my direct expenses. And then the burdened cost includes your direct expenses plus those burdens that are associated with those costs. So this one is more than this one. Now for those specific costs, I can see what tasks they've been associated with. I can see the expenditure type for each of those costs. So for example, this would be a burdened cost. I can tell because that is the burdened expenditure type. I can see the expenditure item date as well as the accounting period. So as a reminder, the accounting period is when the costs hit the ledger, but the expenditure item date is the date that the cost actually incurred. So you can backdate, you can hit the August ledger, but if it actually occurred in July, that's the case there. I've included more columns over here. Again, you can choose your columns. If it's billable, you can mark it unbillable. If it's been invoiced already, things like that. So I also want to point out that you can sort these by a lot of these columns. So let's say I want to see these in order, the tasks. I can click here. All the task 1 costs are right here, then task 2, then 3. Let's say I want to sort by expenditure type so I can see everything clumped together. So all of my burdened costs are right here at the bottom. So lots of different ways that you can look at your costs. And then if you want to simplify it even more, you can click this search, expand arrow, and you can filter by different items. So in this case, I can filter by the task number. So let's say I only want to view my stipends costs. That's my task 1. I'm going to type 1, search, and it will eliminate all the other costs except for my task 1 costs. There's different filtering options here. You can filter by the expenditure org, expenditure type, funding source. And then there is one other filter option that I think is very helpful, and it's not in the managed project costs, it's in the managed project distributions. So I'm going to close this. So I'm back to the award summary page. Again, this drop down, I mentioned there's project costs and cost distributions. Cost distributions, I'm going to open up. It looks very similar, but there are some different filtering options. Oops. I want to make sure I'm doing inception to date. I could tell that wasn't all my costs because there were only a few there. So inception to date, all the way through budget period year 2, manage cost distributions. Now here's all my costs again. Again, you can pick what columns you want to see, same options here. But I wanted to point out that this has an option to filter by a few more things. You can filter by the accounting period, which you couldn't do in the project costs area. You can filter by if it's billable or not. You can filter by capitalized. And then this particular filter I think is very helpful. You can filter by your budget period. So if I only want to see year 1 costs, I would click that, search, and then it eliminates any costs that was in year 2. So these are all my year 1 costs with the totals. So that, you can play around with that, see what is helpful for when you are viewing the costs. Lots of different options here. I'm going to click done to get out of this screen. And I'm going to go back to the awards summary page. Now, I did want to point out one more thing, and that is that you can view your costs in here through the awards page, but you can also view them in a different space in Oracle. So if I go back home, I can also view my costs through the project space. If I click projects, I would click costs. Go to the task panel at the right. Manage project costs and manage cost distributions. Both those screens I just showed you from the awards page are also viewable through the project space. So if I opened up manage project costs, I would need to know my project number in this case, so I remember it. 2 zeros. And then this page should look very familiar to you. This is the exact same page I was looking at from the awards space. Hopefully that was helpful in teaching you how to view your budget, your costs in more detail, and then also the balance that remains on your projects and awards. Look out for more video guides to come. Thank you.